Welcome everybody to today's video. In today's video, I'm going to be explaining the chemical synapse, which is the place where two neurons communicate. So let's see. This is the first neuron, which will send the message to the other neuron. We call it the presynaptic neuron. And this one is the postsynaptic neuron. And we have here the synapse. Okay? We can notice here that the synapse is between an axon terminal. Can you see that? And either a dendrite or the cell's body. Okay, so let's dive deep into it. So this membrane is the membrane of the presynaptic neuron, which is a axonal terminal. But this membrane, as we see, the other one on the other side, is the membrane of the postsynaptic neuron, which is basically the cell's body of the postsynaptic neuron. Or sometimes it will be the dendrite here. It will be like this. But here in this image, we are explaining the synapse between a axon terminal and a cell body. Okay? We can see in the presynaptic neuron, mitochondrion, and important synaptic vesicles. These synaptic vesicles store the neurotransmitters, which will be transferred to the other site, to the other neuron. Okay, and we can also see voltage gated calcium channels, which will also have an important role in this whole process. Okay, but if we're gonna move to the other one, to the postsynaptic neuron, we can see chemical gated channels. These are voltage in the presynaptic, and on the other hand, we have chemical gated channels in the postsynaptic neuron. Okay, let's see how it works. We can notice that the action potential, when it arrives to the axon terminal, it begins in the axon hillock and arrives to the axon terminal. We'll talk about this process in another video. But when this action potential arrives to the axon terminal, which is actually, or basically, the electrical impulse, it will be transferred to a chemical impulse, which will be in the form of neurotransmitters, and then back to a electrical impulse here in the form of a graded potential. Okay, so let's see. The first thing that happens, action potential arrives at the axon terminal. As expected, it will arrive here. Voltage gated calcium channels open and calcium enters the axon terminal. The calcium will enter. And the calcium entry causes synaptic vesicles to release neurotransmitter by exocytosis. So this is 3. The calcium entry will cause these vesicles to go here and merge with the membrane and release its storage of the neurotransmitters to the synaptic cleft. The synaptic cleft is the area between the presynaptic neuron and the postsynaptic neuron. So these neurotransmitters will be released to the synaptic cleft by the exocytosis of these vesicles, synaptic vesicles. Okay. After that, these neurotransmitter diffuses across, will diffuse across the synaptic cleft and binds to specific receptors on the postsynaptic membrane. Okay, let's move to the other picture. This one. This is a chemical gated channel, and this is a receptor on the chemical gated channel. So these neurotransmitters will go and bind to these receptors here, will bind here. So this will cause these channels to open, resulting in graded potentials after certain movement of ions between outside and inside of the postsynaptic neuron. A graded potential will happen. Okay, and we can talk about the ionic movement in another video. And neurotransmitter effects must be terminated. So how does this happen? Either by reuptake through transport proteins, like it will go back by these proteins like this. These are the neurotransmitters. After it does its work, it will go back to the presynaptic neuron through these transport proteins, or it will be degraded by enzymes. So enzymatic degradation or diffusion away. It will go away from the synapse. So let's go here. These neurotransmitters will either go back to the presynaptic neuron or will be degraded by enzymes or will diffuse away from the synapse. Okay, everybody, thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more.